Hello there, Tyrant here, and I just finished watching episode 4 of Citrus, Love Me Do. Well, I could use the exclamation point, but so I, I kind of been waiting for this episode because of what happened last week when Yuzu like went and kissed Mei, and surprisingly, the episode itself I don't know. So normally I would do this right after I watched it, but I had to rewatch this episode because something felt a little off when I watched it. Um, I don't know. Since we get introduced to this new character, May's the vice president slash May's best friend. She's a very interesting character to say the least, and so this is right after the event of the kiss. And and Yuzu's just frustrated. I enjoy her character because it's very realistic in a way that she doesn't know how to handle her feelings in the situation, and she's really flustered. And they take it from, I wouldn't say a 10. It's not like a 10. It's like probably an 8 or a 9, and they go up to a 10. Like she's really flustered, to the point where she's hanging out. She basically sleeps over her friend's house, and for about 2 days, if I recall correctly. I've watched it twice now. But this episode kind of really, kind of, for me, painted out May, because this is where it got me a little bit. Like, from what it felt like May was that type of character. She's like quiet and everything, but somehow has a strong character, I would say. But no, actually, rewatching this episode really showed me, this is my opinion and my thoughts, that May's really just very, very like hollow and easy to uh kind of, well, I would not really manipulate, but easy to uh force feelings on, I would say. Um, because, like I said earlier, like we did get a little bit of a flashback when they were kids, May and her best friend, and that is where we kind of get her best friend's side of the thing. But what I mean by May, so we get this scene with the best friend kind of after this whole confrontation with Yuzu and this um, twirly girl, haired girl. She, Yusu's kind of feeling bad and everything, but it kind of comes out in a way that well, it's funny is that she first thinks it's one of those uh well, girl on girl thing, which is but she misconstrues it because it's really two sisters and everything. But then it goes to that level where where the childhood the best friend kind of forces her feelings upon May. And this is where I go back and say, like, May's character is really just being taken by whatever is happening here in her surrounding, and it kind of hollows her out because you can tell, like you have mentioned before, kind of the way she looks, those like very dull eyes, when she just is, and the way they portray her when you're seeing her in these like small moments of kind of disheartening, when she's like disheartened. um and I think it's, we'll learn a little bit more, but it's kind of hard to explain this episode because it's, at first, the first time I watched it, it felt like I felt it was just a bit rushed but lagged at the same time because of the flashbacks. But then it kind of like jumped straight up when the best friend just kind of like kissed May, and this whole other thing. And now it's all just convoluted right now and really complex. And Yusa doesn't know what to do. May definitely doesn't know what to do. Um, and then this childhood friend, I have no idea. What's funny is, like, I've seen this episode twice now. It's funny that uh, she's mentioned she crossed the line, right? And they, uh, like, what is it? They framed the scene, make it look like it's more scandalous than it needs to be. But no, as far as I can tell, if it kind of goes slightly that jokey route, and I wouldn't mind, is that all they did was kiss, and I'll accept that. Um, but I think for me to just kind of hope for the next episode is for May to kind of step up a little bit more of just this kind of lone character that she is, and kind of take reign in her life a little bit, I would say. That's going to be the end result, yes, but I want a little bit of development happening here, not just some back and forth right now. Like, yes, it was very interesting. I was waiting for this from the past 3 episodes. We were getting this back and forth, but I was hoping this episode to end in a way that was not so I don't know how to mention it. It's just, I don't know. But we're just gonna have to literally wait and see until next week to see how things are a little bit resolved and how things will progress. Because actually, there's still a few characters that are missing in this lineup. If you remember the intro, there's I think 1 or 2 more girls that are gonna appear that are gonna, well, interval with everyone. So yeah. Um, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just rambling at this point, but it wasn't a bad episode. I think it was well done, and I'm just hoping for some more character development than some wackiness. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you stuck around, until next time.